A server rack blinks silently in a corner office, its green LEDs reflecting off a polished conference table. The room is empty except for a single laptop, open to a job posting that reads, "Seeking first human employee." This isn't science fiction. AI-first companies are quietly emerging, and some are facing a strange inflection point. They've automated customer service, content generation, code review, and even strategic planning. But there's one problem they can't solve with another algorithm. They need to hire a human. Here's the thing. When we talk about AI replacing jobs, we imagine a gradual takeover, department by department. What we're seeing instead is something weirder. Entire companies are being built from the ground up with AI doing the core work, and humans are the exception, not the rule. This is about potential trends, not financial advice, but understanding this shift might be one of the most practical things you can do right now. Look, I know what you're thinking. If AI can handle the work, why hire anyone at all? That's exactly the question these companies wrestled with. And the answer reveals something fundamental about what AI actually can't do, even when it seems unstoppable. Let me paint the picture. Imagine a company that generates personalized financial reports. The AI ingests market data, analyzes portfolios, and writes customized summaries for thousands of clients every morning. The coffee maker in the break room never gets used. The Slack channels are eerily quiet except for automated alerts. Revenue flows in, servers process requests, invoices get sent. The whole operation hums along like a well-oiled machine under fluorescent lights that never dim. But then something shifts. A client emails asking a question that doesn't fit the template. The AI generates 3 different responses, each technically correct but tonally off. Or a regulatory change gets announced, and the system needs someone to decide which interpretation to follow when the legal language is deliberately vague. These moments pile up like unread notifications on a forgotten phone screen. This is where AI-first companies hit their ceiling, not because the technology fails, but because it succeeds too consistently. AI is extraordinary at patterns, terrible at ambiguity. It can process 1,000 scenarios, but struggles when the right answer is, "It depends." The first human hire at these companies isn't a CEO or a CTO. It's what some are calling a judgment operator. Their job is to handle the edge cases, the gray zones, the decisions that require weighing values instead of variables. They sit at a standing desk with dual monitors, one showing the AI's proposed actions, the other tracking the situations where human discretion becomes non-negotiable. If you're curious, public research databases on autonomous systems and human AI collaboration paint a clearer picture of this dynamic. The pattern repeats. Automation handles volume, humans handle nuance. But here's what changes everything. The skills these companies need aren't what you'd expect. They're not looking for the person who can code the best or analyze data the fastest. They're looking for the person who can sense when a situation needs a different kind of attention. It's the ability to read between the lines of a customer complaint, to notice when a pattern in the data suggests something ethically uncomfortable, or to make a call when 2 equally valid options sit on the table. Think about it like this. AI training is like water carving a canyon over centuries, following the path of least resistance based on every raindrop that came before. But sometimes you need someone to look at that canyon and say, "We should build the bridge here, not there," based on factors the water never considered. Now, if this sounds like a niche situation, you're half right. We're talking about maybe a few hundred companies globally doing this right now. But the mechanism is worth understanding because it's spreading. Every time a traditional company automates another layer, they're moving closer to this model. The question isn't if this becomes more common, but how fast. Let's talk about what this actually means for you. If you've been worried that AI will eliminate your role entirely, this offers a different lens. The jobs that survive and the new ones being created aren't about competing with AI on speed or volume. They're about developing the skills that fill the gaps AI creates when it works too well. Here's a mini hook for you. The highest paid roles in AI-first companies might not be the ones building the AI. They might be the ones deciding when not to use it. That raises a hard question, though. What tasks are we optimizing away, and what human value gets lost in the process? When a company runs on algorithms 95% of the time, does the culture shift in ways we don't fully anticipate? These aren't easy answers, but they're worth sitting with as this model expands. Let me give you something concrete. The people getting hired into these roles share a few traits. They're comfortable with uncertainty. They can articulate why a decision feels wrong even when the data says it's right. They understand systems well enough to know where the edge cases hide. And crucially, they can communicate their reasoning to both humans and AI systems in a way that creates feedback loops. If you're building skills for the next few years, those capabilities might matter more than another certification or specialization. The ability to navigate ambiguity, to exercise judgment, to bridge the gap between what's measurable and what's meaningful. That's the stuff that doesn't compress into a training dataset. Now, here's the flip side. This doesn't mean human jobs are safe or that AI has hit some permanent wall. What it means is the interface is changing. Instead of humans doing tasks, we're moving toward humans managing the seams between automated systems. That's a narrower role in some ways, broader in others. It requires a different kind of endurance too, less about stamina for repetitive work, more about the mental flexibility to switch contexts rapidly when edge cases appear. To be honest with you, this trend also exposes a tension in how we think about work. We've built entire career paths around being really good at repeatable, scalable tasks. That's exactly what AI excels at. The skills that remain valuable are the ones we've historically undervalued: judgment, context, switching, ethical reasoning, and the ability to make calls when the data runs out. AI analysis suggests that companies adopting this model see a strange efficiency gain. They're not replacing expensive human labor with cheap automation. They're replacing cheap automation with expensive human oversight, but only where it creates disproportionate value. One human making a dozen critical decisions a week can unlock millions in revenue or prevent a catastrophic misstep. That's the math that's driving this shift. You might be wondering what happens when AI gets better at judgment. Fair question. The answer is, it's already improving, but not in the way you'd think. AI is getting better at identifying when it's uncertain, which paradoxically increases the need for human decision makers. The more sophisticated the system, the more it recognizes the limits of its training data. A notification pops up on a Slack channel. Low confidence on this response. Human review requested. Here's your takeaway. If you're positioning yourself for the next wave of work, focus less on competing with AI directly and more on building the skills to operate in the space AI can't fill. That means getting comfortable with ambiguity, learning to articulate judgment calls, and understanding systems deeply enough to know where they break down. The first human hires at AI-first companies aren't the last gasp of human employment. They're the blueprint for a different kind of work. It's not about doing more tasks faster. It's about doing the tasks that matter when everything else is already handled. So here's my question for you. What edge cases in your field or industry require human judgment that you don't think AI could handle? Drop your thoughts below. And if this perspective shifted how you're thinking about your next career move, hit subscribe. There's more where this came from.